Okay, here we are in the Escapists. This is a prison break simulator type of game. I've made jokes about the 404th video being something involving the uploader not being found, and sadly I can't actually time the escape to fall on video 404, but this is going to be the 404th video, so let's see if our hero can escape. So I have already completed this, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to start over. We need an inmate, and I never really looked to see what all the options were. The first time I played it I just grabbed whatever I saw. And we are hero. Now, since this is early access, the only prison available to you is First Peak Correctional. This is supposed to be early access exclusive. When the final version of the game comes out, this one will be out, and then there will be 6 prisons of various difficulty in its place. So let's jump right in. Dear hero, welcome to prison. First Peak Correctional is a brand new state-of-the-art facility designed with your discomfort in mind. All our staff are highly trained to make sure your stay here is a truly unpleasant one. You've got a long sentence ahead of you, so make yourself at home, and don't even think about escaping. Signed, Warden Patrick Garrett. So, they tell you WASD to move, converse, profiles. You can read the controls there. Your routines are pretty important. You need to find openings to exploit, and I'll cover things as we go. I'm not going to actually cover every day because some of this can get extremely tedious, but I'm going to show some of the important things. So right here is morning roll call. If you miss any of the roll calls, they'll immediately send in a team to grab you, regardless of where you are, what you're doing, anything. So you don't want to miss these. And sadly they're an hour long in terms of game time, which is a minute our time, so you do have to sit here 1 minute and listen to guards repeat just generic lines. Anyway, you can see the prisoners around us. They have 2 things that are special about them. So you'll notice the green exclamation point. If you left click on them, they have a quest for you. If you can divert the guard's attention during the workout session, he can dish out justice with a screwdriver, pay out $27. I'm going to do this. And then you have this one, which is the bag over their head. That means they are selling items, hammers and talcum powder. The talcum is pretty nice, but sometimes you can find it for free. Show them the air. Okay, I don't want to do any of the fighting missions because combat isn't really worth it in this game, at least in its current version. The single most important stat is intelligence, which you use for the crafting system, which I'm going to actually work on building up in a little bit. So 9 to 10 is your breakfast period. This is where you can burn off any extra fatigue. Your stats are over here. Cash, health, guard heat. Once the higher it gets, the more likely the guards are to just start beating you down. And fatigue is your effort to work. So right there is a contraband scanner. It's not a metal detector. If you find... well, I'll try to show you. So any item that has red text will cause this to go off. The guards will detain you and basically take the item away from you. So our first job is in the laundry room. Basically all you have to do is just take dirty laundry from one bin, toss it in the machines, then once it's clean, toss it in the other bin. You have to fill up that quota bar at the very bottom in order to complete your day's task. And you do get paid for your work. The pay is what you're going to be using to basically finance your escape. Now, if you're wondering, there is a way to get contraband items past these. It's just kind of glitchy, and I'm probably not going to bother with it. You have to craft a certain item, and speaking of crafting, it's now time to start working on our intelligence. So all we have to do is come to the library and just click on these books. And you can see our intelligence goes up 1 point each time we read something. Sadly, you do get 5 fatigue as you go, and once you hit 100 or higher, you can no longer do anything until you bring your fatigue down. As for ways to bring it down, you can either go to the showers, you can eat, or you can lay down in your bed. Showers being, or eating really being the best two. So you can see the bar has to fill up for you to get your intelligence point, and here are our stats. Strength, speed, intelligence. We now have 51 out of 100. Once you get your intelligence up high enough, you can get out of the laundry room to a better paying job. Like, if you remember, we started the day at $10, but we have 40 now because of our laundry room stuff. If you can get into the metal shop, you can get $60 a day, which is double what you would get right now. So let's take a look at their items. Lighters are nice, but sometimes you can find them for free. Crowbars can come in handy depending on what you're doing. Lighters, rope. Odell and Michael are getting their cells searched. And we're going to start rummaging for items, and I'll try to show you which ones are the important ones worth grabbing. And we may even start crafting right now, because I do have 60 intelligence. So first things first, we do need to go check out the job board. So right here you can see I'm in the laundry room. There's a vacancy in the metal shop. And I have enough intelligence now, or 70, damn it. Okay, so I'm gonna start rummaging, and I'll come back for that later. So if you want items but you don't want to pay for them, you always have the option of stealing from your fellow prison mates. So we go up to this desk, which is in an unused cell. There are 16 cells but only 15 prisoners. And I grabbed the lighter and the cup. The lighter you're going to be using quite a few of, and I can also grab the toothpaste, and I can just use my own comb, so I'm not worried about that. That's Aaron. Try not to break into someone's cell when they're nearby or if there's a guard, because that does mean violence is going to happen. So, first crafting item. Talcum and toothpaste gives you wad of putty. Use this to make keys. Oh, his name is Green because he has a very high opinion of me. See, guard. If you're stealing while they're around you, they are just going to beat the hell out of you. So, nothing we need there. But we're still on the lookout for a few items. Here we have a plastic knife. I forgot to grab one earlier, but we're going to be needing one of those. We can now raid this desk. Nothing we need. And another lighter. So I am going to work on getting my intelligence back up now so I can start the metal shop tomorrow. I need a total of 10. Dinner. Okay, I'm going to get sidetracked here because I want to get rid of all my fatigue because I have some stuff to do still. So I should mention the wad of putty is a contraband item. I have to avoid the detectors while I have this. I'm going to be stashing it in my cell once I get the chance. And I'm going to grab an extra plastic knife, and if you can slip out of dinner, that will raise some heat, but sometimes it's worth it. So we need the inventory space. And I'm going to ditch the soap and toilet paper. So just right click on the item in your inventory to drop it. Okay, they're in the exercise room. Since I'm only going to be focusing on intelligence, I need the 70 for the metal shop as soon as possible. You will raise some heat by not going, but for the $60 a day instead of $30, it's worth whatever happens. So, there we go. We are now a metal shop worker. And you can work on your other stats here, like just lift weights to get strength. Strength makes you hit harder, it gives you more health. Hitting harder only really matters if you plan on picking fights, and I'm not going to be too violent this playthrough. The treadmills raise your speed. What the speed does is it's supposed to affect your movement speed, but I don't really notice any difference. Key thing being that I actually need to get in the shower room to burn off this fatigue. It increases your attack speed, which helps you fighting. So, oh yeah, I was supposed to distract them at the workout thing. Oh well, I can do it tomorrow if I want, or I can just not bother. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we have $40. The duct tape is very handy. You're going to need a lot of that regardless of how you want to get out. And the screwdriver is pretty nice, but I couldn't afford that in the first place, so I'll be worried about picking one of those up later. It does come in handy for the final day, since we're going to be making our escape to the outside through the vent system. Anyway, the duct tape is contraband, so we need to go drop that in our cell real quick. And I need sheets, so let's get some donations from our neighbors. And what you do with the sheets is you toss them up here, and now the guards can't see into your cell whenever you're up to something. Crud. Thought he was going to take a little longer. And we're going to have an issue here. So I need the chocolate, and here he comes to fight me. So, if you don't want to fight them, if you're unable to, the guards are pretty tough. All you have to do is just run around in a circle pretty much, and once you get a certain distance away, they'll drop aggro, and you're good to go back to whatever you were doing. Okay, we got another cup. The super glue can come in handy sometimes for making paper mache, in case you need to make a fake wall or something along those lines. And we're actually getting kinda lucky. In my previous attempt, the cups were extremely hard to come by, and they're actually a pretty important item. So we have 3 cells left to search for items. And that's Jared, so I'm actually okay to keep going here. I'm going to jack the toothbrush. We are going to melt that down to create molten plastic. You use that to make a key. And if you're wondering how you're supposed to know about all these items, there are crafting recipes that you can buy, find, etc. We may need a plunger. So up here, I don't have any money. So I need the knives here. Let's empty out our inventory and grab those. You can right-click on your desk to move it, you can stand on it, and that gives you vent access. Now since I don't have a screwdriver, I have to actually cut this down using the knives. And right there, that guard can't actually see me, so I'm free to keep cutting into this. Plastic takes a long time, but it's easiest to come by. And if you want to see how good something is, hold shift over the item. You can see cutting 1 out of 1, weapon, or 1 out of 5, weapon 1 out of 5. Not good to use as either of them, but we're still on the first day. We have to take whatever we can get. So the nice thing about the vents is that the guards don't search there, so I know a lot of people use that as a storage area to hide all their contraband items. Because you don't want stuff in your desk whenever they announce your name for a random cell search, because they'll take it away and you possibly could get locked up in solitary. Random winners are Sebastian and Aaron, so we're safe for today. So a couple things to talk about. As you can tell by the rummaging and whenever you want to buy something from someone, there is actually a pretty significant luck element involved here with the RNG, because you may need a certain item and there's no telling when exactly it's actually going to appear. You could be waiting for a while just because of that, etc. That's one thing I don't like the cups are how you basically are going to be doing fighting without developing your strength stat. And if you're wondering, your stats will atrophy if you don't use them, so my strength is going to be going down. But like I said, you only really need intelligence for crafting purposes. and basically to get you in the metal shop. Okay, the vent is now open, so we need to hide our contraband items up there, and that's all of them for now. So you can see a crafting recipe right there. I'm actually going to... I'm too tired. So we're actually going to call the first day right here. It's up to you if you want to move the desk back, but once you're done, you can go ahead and lie down in your bed, and you save at nighttime. So, new day, that means new items spawn. The list of items that are being sold by your fellow inmates will change throughout the course of the day and just overnight. So we have to do another roll call. People about to get their cells searched are Odell and Terrell. Timber is actually pretty nice because you can use that to make tools. They sell lighters, but you can sometimes find those for free, and that guy is no longer selling, so... File, really good item. Duct tape, very important, just like in real life. Tons of duct tape. So I'm probably going to get the file if it's still being sold later on today. And I'm only going to do a couple days. I really intend for this to be just like a 3-part series. Day 1 being getting you set up, Day 2 being securing the items, and then Day 3 being the escape. I'm not actually talking about in-game days because, like I said, there is a luck element involved. So, we're just going to be skipping ahead. I'm probably going to end this one on Day 3, maybe. And we may pick up around Day 10 or so. But I plan on doing the tedious stuff off camera, such as opening up some of those slats so that we can get in position for our escape, and it's now time to go to the metal shop. But one of the most important things to do is just actually rack up your money, because escaping is pretty expensive since you have to buy contraband that could very well cost you more than an entire day's pay in the metal shop for just one item that you'll use to craft a bigger item. So in order to complete this, you have to make 14 license plates. And boom, 60 bucks. So we're going to go rummaging once again because we need a couple more items. That's Jared. Okay, nothing we need here. Ink. That's supposed to be for a fake wall, but I haven't bothered with that. Crafting recipe, so I can show you what that is. So, cell key mold. You have to use a cell key and putty, and you have to have 20 or more intelligence to actually make it. Now, if you happen to forget your recipes, they're under your journal. Click on craft notes. They don't tell you the intelligence requirements, though, so that is one drawback. But you shouldn't have much trouble keeping your intelligence pretty high. So the single most important key is the red key, the staff key. And I'm actually going to look around the prison once I'm done pilfering. And this brings me to the next point about the crafting recipes, why I do not recommend spending money on them. They are completely random. You can spend money on something you already know, and then you're just out of money that you could have used to finance something in your escape. In the next installment, I'm actually going to be covering a lot of the crafting, so something to look forward to. Hopefully you don't go too far out of your way for all those recipes. Some of them are not very intuitive, I will admit, though. And here's the warden. Unfortunately, you cannot pick a fight with him. He's just an invincible unit that roams around from time to time. Okay, talcum powder. So we can make another mold if we want more than one key. You really only need one if you're going to do my type of escape, but something just to show off later on, I guess, when I do the whole big crafting session. That's Elijah. And the battery, I guess... Oh, wait, my inventory's full. How else do I pay attention to that? So you can do two things with the battery. You can make a candle, which I don't think does anything at the moment, or you can put it inside of a sock to make a mace-type weapon, which you can equip to help you in combat. And timber, pretty helpful. Screwdriver recipe, but we're not picking that up. Crowbar, depending on how you want to get out exactly, that's not exactly a bad item. But your two ways of escaping are either tunneling straight from your cell out, or by escaping one way or another to the outside and then digging a short tunnel. In the current version, regardless of how you want to do it, you have to tunnel, so be prepared and make a shovel. You could also make a pickaxe if you want to be careful, because you still can get screwed over by the RNG. When you dig, there's always a chance that there could be a rock that you encounter, and shovels not good at busting up rocks. You have to rely on a hammer or something else. Let's take a razor blade, we might be able to use it. That's Joseph, so I can go in here. Okay, so we're actually doing pretty good in terms of lighters. And I actually can craft a weapon of sorts here. So yeah, segment 2 I'm going to actually get the key that we need, but time to show off some stuff. Orange locks are utility locks. You need the utility key or the orange key to open those. Those can give you certain things, but all in all it's a kind of worthless item. Your green key is your work key. Those lock off the laundry room, the kitchen, the metal shop, the wood shop. So I don't really know if there's any reason to want those, but they're there. The next type of key is the important one, the red one, or the staff key. You'll notice those locks all over the place. That key is very handy. The drawback, of course, is that you can only use it 5 times before it breaks, and you have to relock a door behind you, otherwise the guards will immediately find you. Then there are 2 more types of keys. There's one that's going to be on the entrance later on, which is the purple key, and then your cell keys, which are yellow. And it is now dinner time. And since we don't need any fatigue, you can just walk around. Guard outfit is kind of important, but I'll worry about that in another episode. I may even just flat out buy it between these segments. So, damn. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple extra plastic knives so I can start working on the vents, but I'm going to do that off camera since it is tedious. And you just gotta keep following your routine, making progress as you go, and then escape. You could blow off exercise period. It will cost some heat, but it's not like the roll call where if you miss that, they'll instantly come after you. Even if you get up to 99 heat, that means that they'll just beat you down as soon as they see you, but you can just hide until that goes down. It's only a mess if you have to go to roll call when you're at 99 heat, because then they are going to just beat the crap out of you. So we could take a look at the items. I doubt anything's really changed. The cement is used to fill in a hole to kind of camouflage your tunnels. Your other options, you can just put your desk over it. It's up to you. Okay, evening free time. So my ultimate goal is that I need to open up the vent from going to my cell all the way over here, then up here, ultimately to over here, because I can just take that door out into the courtyard. But if you need to dispose an item real quick, you can always try to flush it. There is a chance the toilet could get plugged up, and then it just gets messy. You need a plunger to unplug the toilet, and if you don't, the guards will find you and just beat the crap out of you. Unfortunately, this isn't like your real American prisons these days, where they're starting to become more and more like country clubs. These guys actually still mean a little bit of business. And I have to wonder if that's going to be one of the prisons. Maybe a special 7th joke prison, the white-collar country club prison. We'll have to see what the finished product has. And I still didn't do that favor, but the nice thing about doing favors is it does get you influence with the people, which is okay. But it gets you money, which you can use to help speed up your escape. And at the evening roll call, I'm going to do one final sweep for items that I can buy, and then I'm actually probably going to stop the video. So 30 minutes. These doors will lock. There's your warning at 2200, 10 p.m. And then you can actually see the purple lock. Nothing I need. Nothing I need. Okay, hopefully I can pick up some items as I go. So for the next part, I'll actually have most of the things I need. But you will see basically a contraband warehouse up in the vents by the time I'm done. They're searching Odell and Pierre's cells. Yep, it looks like I'm not going to be able to buy anything this part. But still, it's not a bad thing to save up your money. You never know when something you need is just going to become available in huge numbers, and then you'll have the money to pick that up. Okay, so this was part 1. Part 2, I will be further ahead and save you all the tedious parts. So until then, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.